Hello everybody and welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. That's my signature saying. So I am very excited to be here with you today. It is a gorgeous day. I hope that you are not watching me live unless you are sitting outside under a tree, on a bench, in the park, just catching me someplace where you are enjoying how beautiful the weather is. I hope it's beautiful where you are. I am in Lynnfield, Massachusetts. I am located about 15 miles north of Boston, and it's a gorgeous day. It is a gorgeous spring day. So I did my Facebook Live on Monday, and it didn't turn out very well. I was upside down. I just flipped instead of going, and so that I could look at your comments. I'm going to watch for comments, but if you don't make a comment live, don't worry about it. You can leave me a comment on the replay. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you love about the new catalog. Tell me what your new favorite color is. I'll tell you mine. Actually, there are two. Blueberry Bushel returned. My brand new color favorite is probably Azure Afternoon. So two blues, of course. I'm a big blue person. I also love Lemon Lolly, a new yellow. Sorry, my dogs are upstairs. There are dogs walking outside because they're enjoying the weather too. I have another card to show with you, and this is going to be the fourth card in our card class on Thursday night coming up next week. But I'm going to show you the ones that I've made. Oh, hi, Vicki. Nice to see you. Welcome, everybody, to my Facebook Live. I'm going to flip down and start sharing with you right away. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you for taking your time and spending it with me. So let's see. I'm going to flip you up. There we go, towards the ceiling. There we go, and down. There we go. Love it. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what is going on. Here is my May host code, and let's share these cards with you. So I made 3 cards, and they're all kind of, actually, let me share the in-color cards with you. And Celine first shared them with me, and I've just changed them up a tiny bit. This is the new Moody Mauve, and I used the in-color ribbon. Wild Wheat, same thing. They're all the same. Boho Blue. Love Boho Blue, too. I left out Boho Blue. Love Boho Blue. This is Copper Clay, and this last one is Pebbled Path, and I really like that one, too. So, all really nice colors, very down to earth. But that inspired my cards that I'm going to make today. But I didn't end up using new ribbon. I could have for today, but I'm not going to because you guys can get this card class and I don't have enough new ribbon yet because I'm busy cutting it all up for my ribbon shares. I'm going to leave a link on my page in case anybody wants ribbon or paper shares. But anyway, this right here is Lost Lagoon, and we're going to make that right now. And I'll show you a little bit about how I made it and tell you all about the measurements, and you can make this too. The new stamp set is called Circle Sayings. Circle Sayings fits our new 2 3/8 inch punch right here. And this punch is a new size even for us. Stampin' Up! Has had a 2 inch, a 2 1/4, and a 2 1/2 inch. They have never had a 2 3/8 inch punch. So even if you think you have all the punches, you need another one. So let's get to Circle Sayings. This is the stamp set right here. Circle Sayings has a few different great sentiments, and it has a couple of different borders. So I did this exact same Facebook Live on Monday, but I wasn't able to flip. And actually, I tried to flip and I was upside down. So now we're going to do it right side up. Okay, so let's get to the cards right here, and I'll tell you all about the measurements. You're going to want Circle Sayings, and you're going to want the new 2 3/8 inch punch, so put it on your list now. Okay, let's start with the Lost Lagoon card that I just showed you. My card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. This is a standard card for me. Just about all of my cards are this size. Once in a while, I might do 4 1/4 by 11 and score it at 5.5, but it ends up being 4 1/4 by 5.5 at the end. So anyway, this card measurement is very key because I use it over and over again. So 8.5 by 5.5, score it at 4 1/4. I've already done that. Now, the next layer, this is a very common matte layer. This is 4 by 5¼ inches. I use it just about all the time inside, either a white or vanilla. If it's not a white or a vanilla base, or a very, very light base. This ends up inside, but this is actually going to layer on our card. But we're not going to start out doing that because I'm going to wrap the ribbon around everything. I have here a 3 3/4 inches by 5 inch. Let me try that again. 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. I've embossed all of these with different folders. To me, Lost Lagoon, this one looks like water, and this seashell border reminded me of this new embossing folder. This is one of the basics embossing folders that you can get as an online exclusive. I don't think it's available yet. It was supposed to be May 1st. Now I believe it's May 15th. When it's available, jump on it and get it. There's 3 of them for $30 and they're all fabulous embossing folders, all 3D. This one looks like starfish to me, and that's why I chose that. So let's start by gluing these together. I think this glue will work. I just used it before. Yeah. You could be using Seal or Seal Plus. I think if I was going to be doing something besides the glue, I would use the Seal Plus, especially with all of the little nooks and crannies of this embossing folder. So let's add this right in the middle, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches attached to a 4 by 5¼ inch layer. Now I have a 1½ inch by 5 inch white strip here, and this is, I'm going to layer on my designer paper here. I think I said this on Monday night when I did it. To me, this white gets lost in this white. I don't want it to get lost. So what I'm going to do is cut off the 5 inches off the bottom instead of off the top. So let me just get my paper cutter here. We're going to just cut it at 5 inches. The strip here is 1 1/4 inches wide. And actually, maybe I'll even do it like this. I just inched it up a little bit, and I'm going to take off a little bit of the dark at the top. Let's try that. Actually, maybe I should try and see how that looks. Yeah, that's not terrible. Okay, so I'm going to put that at 5 inches, and let's just take off that little piece, and voila, there we go. Okay, what I'm going to do is attach this to my 1½ inch by 5 inch piece of white. See, this is the back of the Bright and Beautiful designer paper. This is one of our new designer papers. This one has ombre on one side. I love ombre. I'm a big fan of the ombre shading. I don't know if you remember the marble paper from Celebration a couple of years ago, but I really enjoyed that paper. And this is similar to this, and it has a lot of the new colors in there. The Azure Afternoon is in there. I believe Berry Burst is in there. Actually, I'm going to show you the card. No, I'm not going to show you that card because actually I ended up, let me show you the paper real quick. I don't want this to be a long Facebook Live because I don't want to take up all your time, but see, here's some pretty blues. There's a pretty pink. You see that pretty pink? Lemon Lolly. That's more like Lemon Lime Twist. It could even be Parakeet Party, but I'm pretty sure it's Lemon Lime Twist. Here's more like Pretty Peacock, I believe. There is probably Misty Moonlight, I would say. So there's lots of different, this is probably more Blueberry Bushel right there. So there are so many options. And then on the other side, I should show you, in case you don't see it, stars, wavy lines, geometric patterns, lots of geometrics. So, and then this I'm going to use for a pink card in just a second. So if you saw my Facebook Live the other day, you have a sneak peek of everything I'm going to do, except I did it upside down. I'm going to attach this strip now to my cardstock. I'm going to put it about 1.5 inches away. No, 1.5 inches. I'm sorry. I'm don't know what I was saying there. It's less than 1/2 inch. It's probably 3/8 of an inch from the border, the edge of my Lost Lagoon embossed layer. And now what I'm going to do is take out, I've got my handy dandy box of supplies next to me. Hopefully I won't have to run for everything. I usually end up running for one thing a week, but hopefully because I've already done this, most of it is in the box. I do know that I had to go back and get my inks back out. I'm just going to tie this in a simple bow right here. Hopefully. There we go. Beautiful. That's all we're going to do. And I have a scissor. This is actually an adhesive scissor, but it's sharper than my paper snips for cutting ribbon. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so now we've got that there. We are going to layer that right on there. And then we're going to finish the rest of the card, which is just using the Circle Sayings stamp set to stamp. Okay, so let's go like this. The Circle Sayings stamp set is a photopolymer, so you can pre-cut all of your, pre-punch all of your shapes out already. You don't need to have anything already. If it was a red rubber, I would suggest that you stamp and then punch out, but that's not the case. Let me find what I'm looking for. Here's the stamp. Looks like a starfish with a couple of other shells. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm trying to stay in the camera and right side up. Like I said, if you caught my Facebook Live the other day, you'd know that I was totally upside down for most of it. So we're doing this again. And I also couldn't upload it to YouTube, and I really wanted to because this is a beautiful stamp set. And it's a beautiful sketch to use to showcase all of the new colors. So there we have Lost Lagoon. I'm just going to clean this off before I get ink all over everything. It's a brand new stamp, ink pad, I should say, so it's very wet and gooky. Be careful when you're using your new stamps. You really don't want to get ink all over the block, because if you get ink on the block, you get ink on your card, you get ink on your fingers, then you get ink on your card, and so on. Okay, so that's that, and we are going to stamp just like I did on this card here. We're going to stamp Because You're Awesome. So let's stamp Because You're Awesome. Here I put the ink away and I need it for one more thing. Okay, let me try to be more careful as I'm inking this up. I want to just tap. There we go. Hopefully that's good. Because You're Awesome. There we go. Now, what I did for this card, and I did it later on Monday, I added some Wink of Stella. And let's see, do I have my Wink of Stella here? Yes, I do. If I do it while the green is still a little wet, it might turn it a little bit green. You can see a little bit of shading in my shells. If you don't see shading, that's okay. You just have nice sparkly shells. There we go. Okay, what you need to do yet is just pop these up. Put about 5 dimensionals on the back here. I kind of put 4 in each corner. I have big respect for you if you use more than 5, because you must really like me if you use more than 5. Oh, I'm going to give you 6. Love you guys. There you go. Okay, here's the card. What I'm going to do is just add this right here, Because You're Awesome. And we are going to take your pick tool. And I have here, just like before, some iridescent rhinestones. I believe I can't remember if the rhinestones retired or the pearls, but either way, we definitely have one of those, and we have iridescent of both. So we're just going to put a couple right there. Let's do a nice big one right up here, and then we can do another on my finger little one that we'll put right there. There we go. That worked out well. Came right off. So there's card number 1. Easy peasy. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4 inch white matte, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches layer, 1.5 by 5 inch white strip, and the designer paper is 1 1/4 inches by 5 inches. It's our new 2 3/8 inch punch. That is our recipe for all of these cards. So you can go and make these too, but don't yet, because we're going to do Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight right here. Love this new one. This is our new country floral, country blessings, country meadow, country something that goes with the Country in Sweet embossing folder. Feel free to chime in and write it. Oh, hi, Susan. We missed you this week. Anyway, this goes so well with the new Country in paper. My favorite paper, let me tell you, because it looks very Dutch. And if you know me, you know that I am 100% Dutch and very proud of it. Okay, Misty Moonlight, 5.5 by 8.5. We scored it at 4 1/4. We've got our basic white layer, which we're going to set this cardstock, the card base aside, because I don't want to glue anything until I've tied my ribbon around it. I've already pre-embossed this layer. And then, like I said, I love my glue. I'm leaving this right here in case you want to use the host code and get this. You will get the card kit for all 3 of these cards. You'll get 2 each of this if you place an order of at least $35 in my store. If it's at least $50, you get an embellishment as well. Just something I'm trying. Here's our white strip, and here is our designer paper. This is the Country in designer paper. And look at this. This is the paper. There's lots of pretty blues, some navies, all different shades. Oh, love that. So really, really, really pretty colors. This is the Countryside In paper, and it's part of the Countryside In suite. If I had to make a prediction, I think that paper is going to go on back order because it is so beautiful. Not that I want to start anything. It's just a prediction. Okay, we're going to add our 1 1/4 inch by 5 inch strip right to our white inch strip here. And then we're going to attach this. Oh, I forgot. We're going to attach this right to our 2 layers here, our embossed and matted layer. There we go. I don't know if there's a right side or a wrong side to me. It all looks beautiful. There we go. I didn't want to go to the top of the white layer. I did want to leave a little bit of white on each side that you can see. You could go and make it a 5 1/4 inch length if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. This is our returning crinkled white seam binding ribbon. And for me, it went so perfectly with everything that I decided to keep it. So that's what we have here. You can't go wrong with white ribbon. And like I said in my Facebook Live on Monday, you could take any of our new blends, and we have new blends in just about all of the new colors. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it seems like there were 1 or 2 colors from each color family before that were left off. I'm going to slide this up. Let's shimmy this up right there. So there probably are colors that do not have matching blends. But if you wanted to get close, I do know Misty Moonlight has blends, or any of these, Lost Lagoon, etc. You could color this ribbon and match it. I just think that was too, what do you want to call it? Matchy-matchy? Too dark. I really like this especially. To me, this looks so classic. Let's stamp. Sorry, I've got I put my thing on the floor and I'm bending over for it. Let's get this out. Okay, this one we're going to do in the floral border. So really, really pretty. Misty Moonlight right here. I did a Facebook Live earlier this week showing you how I label all of my ink pads. This one isn't done yet, but this is Berry Burst. I do it in a white, kind of like, see, I'm not standing up to see if I'm in the picture. There we go. I do it in a white tape with black, so it kind of colors like Lemon Lolly. I can't even read it on the tape that comes as part of that. So, okay, let's stamp this again. I should be standing. That is a really, really wet stamp, so hopefully it's not too muddy. A little bit, but it's okay. If I wanted to color it with the Wink of Stella and really have it shine and blue up, this would be the time to do that. Oh, I wanted to stamp something else. Warm hello. Just like I have here. Warm hello. I think I really, really soaked that stamp, but what wet ink pads right now. There we go. Okay, there's warm hello. It's kind of funny. I don't know what blue I used. You know what I used? I do know what I used. When I did this one, guys, I used my old Misty Moonlight, so it's a little bit off. The color is not quite the same as our new Misty Moonlight. This is my new Misty Moonlight stamp. See, it hasn't even, I don't even have my labels on the side yet. What I was going to say with this, besides the tape, I will put in here like Bright's #1 or something, or Bright's 10, so that I know which ink pad is missing from my stash without too much of a problem. We're going to pop this one up with our dimensionals again. One more card to go. See, yep, this is the back of it, and I didn't like how it stamped the other day. But we're going to use that because nobody sees the back. Don't forget, you guys have 2 sides of the paper. So if you don't like how you stamp something once, as long as you haven't colored with the blends are going to bleed through to the back side. But nobody knows what you have underneath there. So take advantage of both sides of the paper if you make a mistake, if it's something that you can't fix. Okay, so here we go. We're going to add this right here. I'll put it right there. And like I did with this one, this other card, I like how the pearls were in it. We're going to use our Take Your Pick tool and our iridescent pearls, just for a couple of the flowers here. We'll do a big one there. We'll do a little one right down there. You can cover all of these with the iridescent rhinestones if you want. I'm just doing a couple, but you know, because it gets kind of lost, let's do a big and a little one over here too. There we go. Okay, now let's add it to our Misty Moonlight base. And yes, I did a little bit of preparation for this, but you can do a whole bunch at the same time if you wanted to. It's not that hard to do. I think I've told you before, whenever I score my cardstock, I score a whole piece at the same time at 4 1/4 inches. And then I cut it in half, and then I've got 2. If I can use one for my next time that I need a card without having to go over and score it again, or even for a second card for my Facebook Live or whatever. So there we go. I would like this a little bit tighter. I'll probably retie that, but because I'm not quite happy with it. Oh, I'm going to do it now, and I shouldn't be picky. If I really want this to turn out, making it look like a right side up bow, I have to tie my bows upside down. That's just the way it goes. And there you go. That's better. Love it. Don't you love it? Let me know. Okay, so this is now our Misty Moonlight. Let's do our last card. And this is the last card that I did on Monday. We're going to do it again now. We're going to color our frosting a little bit sooner so that I make the whole frosting pink. So this is, again, the Bright and Beautiful cardstock, and these are the polka dots that I was talking about. This card base is our new Bubble Bath Pink. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a pink person, and I love this pink. So you're going to want it. Okay, I've done all my prep ahead of time. I've already scored it at 4 1/4, 5.5 by 8.5. Bubble Bath is the name of this color. I have my white matte layer. I used the Cascading Ruffles. I believe that's what it's called. This embossing, 3D embossing folder, I opened for the first time on Monday afternoon. And I'm kind of sorry. Isn't it so pretty? Actually, this one, I actually embossed it sideways. This one I did right side up. But to me, because we are doing the cupcake, this looked like icing to me. This looked like the ribbon ruffles that you have on the shell border, everything that you have on the side of a nicely decorated cake. So I tried to match the embossing folders to the theme of the stamp. That was half the fun, and then the other half was picking the colors. Okay, here's our 1.5 inch white strip and our polka dots. This is the ombre, so it does have the ombre on the other side. Very light pink. I thought it got a little washed out, and I want to do the polka dots. I love the polka dots, but when you get this card kit in the mail for when you place your order, you can choose either side of the designer paper, or you could do one of each because you're going to make 2 cards of each of these 3. You'll get all the ribbon that you need. You'll get all the designer paper. I'll pre-emboss. The only thing I can't do for you is stamp. Okay, we're going to use a brand new basic white scrap, and we are going to stamp it in Berry Burst like I did the other day. I tried Bubble Bath. Bubble Bath is a very light pink, especially with stamping. You're going to love this for the paper, but you're probably not going to be a big fan of it for I lost my train of thought. You're going to want it, you're going to want a darker color for the stamping because the light colors, like Lemon Lolly also, I'm going to show you that card in a second, it gets a little bit lost in there. Okay, let me get my punch. I'm going to punch this and figure out the direction of my cupcake based on how I punch this out. And you can see how nicely this punches. There we go. Here is our cupcake. And like I said, we're going to stamp it in Berry Burst because that, to me, I could do Fresh Freesia if I wanted. That's another light color though. But I think we've got some Fresh Freesia in there as well as Bubble Bath. But to me, the darker color is maybe a little bit of Berry Burst, so that's what we're going to do. Let's do it just like that. I better stand up so I'm in the center. We're going to just stamp it like that. Voila. And then before the ink dries this time, I am going to color it with the Wink of Stella so that my icing is all a little bit pink. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's just attach this together so you can see how fast this card comes together. You can cut a whole bunch of the basic white 1.5 by 5 inch strips ahead of time. You can cut a whole bunch of the designer paper. Let me see. You probably could get 5 pieces of the designer paper, 5 strips, 1.25 inches. Oh, no, you're going to be just shy. You're going to get 4 and have a nice size strip left over is what's going to happen. Because the 1.25, 4 of them would be an extra inch. That would get you to the 5 inches, but to the 1/4 inches times 4, yeah, it's not going to work. Sorry, doing math here in my head. That's a dangerous thing. Let's tie our basic white, crinkled white seam binding ribbon around here. I can tie it anywhere I want. I like to keep my tail to the right and my loop to the left so that when I pull it through, I'm not wasting too much ribbon. I kind of know how much it, see my tail here is going to be short. I don't pre-cut my ribbon ever. I leave it on the spool when I tie my bows. Yeah, let's move this up. There we go. Oh, I think it came loose a little bit by moving it. Let's try that again. See, I said I don't ever do this ahead, and now we have to. Okay. One more. Well, there's my upside down bow. Nothing I can do about it. We're going to pop this up with some dimensionals, which I have right here. Let's put 5 on. Right there. There we go. We're going to put it right there. If I wanted to, seriously, if I honestly thought that my ribbon needed to be a little bit snugger, the other thing I could do is I could use some washi tape to attach this. You could use Scotch tape, but your Scotch tape is not acid free, so just be careful with that. Washi tape tends to be acid free, so that it won't ruin your card when it keeps forever and ever. Let's attach this, and I'm going to show you my last card. This is card number 4 in just a second. That is not part of the card kit because it took too many blends and everything. This one is the 4th card, I believe, for Thursday night's class next week. There we go. Isn't that so pretty? Susan, you're going to love this pink. You are going to love it. So this is called Bubble Bath. Okay, so here, oh, I added some rhinestones. Let's add some rhinestones if I can find some. Those are the pearls, and the rhinestones are, right. Oh, they're in the bottom of my bucket here. Just need my take your pick tool. I don't do anything without that. We'll just add one there. That's kind of a big rhinestone, isn't it? One there, one more over there. Ta-da, because everything is best in 3s. There we go. There is our 3rd card. I'm going to retie this bow on my older card because that's a little stretched out, but that's kind of how I wanted to do these cards. So aren't they pretty? I'd pre-tie the bows for you, but I can't, unfortunately. Okay, so these are the 3 cards. Card number 4 is right here. I wanted to do Lemon Lolly, and I wanted to use one of the other stamps. And one of the other stamps, let me show you the stamp set, is this one here. It looks like a sun. You know, it could be either a rainbow or waves. I'm thinking because of the seagulls off to the left that it's waves. So what I did was I colored this with the Lemon Lolly blends, the dark Lemon Lolly, and then this is part of the light part here is it actually might be the Boho Blue rather than the Misty Moonlight blends. I use the light for what looks almost like clouds, and I use the dark for the darker water. So I added a little bit of Wink of Stella because everything needs a little Wink of Stella, and the only thing that it's missing, now that I look at it, are some gems. So let's add those right now. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So this is our 4th card so that you can get to meet the new yellow. So anyway, that is it for the cards and for my online card class. I'm going to load it to YouTube, and I hope you have fun with this. Aren't these so pretty? I hope you love this online card class. And let me see. I'm going to flip you back and say, I'm not Bokeh Dots. Bokeh, you know, on the Bokeh is one of B-O-K-E-H. It's that filter that you can do on the camera. Hi, Judy. Judy's still in Nebraska for a couple more weeks until after the cruise, and then she'll be moving to Texas, and she'll be saying y'all all the time. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me. I will see you soon. Actually, join me Monday night, 5 p.m. for my next Facebook Live, for whatever that's going to be. Love you. Bye.